Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina. This story is sponsored by AIM Acupuncture and Integrative Medicine.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm back at AIM Acupuncture and I'm joined by Mr. Elbert. How are you?
Wonderful.
I want to talk to you about your experience here, but first, the pain you've been dealing with for quite some time.
Yeah, I hurt my left shoulder and they recommended I have surgery. And I really didn't want anybody cutting on me, so I came and talked to Dr. Weber and she said that she could go through acupuncture and it would help me tremendously, and it has.
Were you kind of shocked at how well it worked?
I was really skeptical, but everything has worked really fine for me, and I'm very pleased with this crew and this staff.
I can imagine it's tough to deal with that pain on a daily basis, but now being able to experience, feeling so much better.
Right.
What's that like?
It feels a lot better because I couldn't lift my left arm up over my head, and it was really painful, but now it's about 95% better.
And you were also dealing with peripheral neuropathy, right?
That's correct.
Where was that?
In my feet.
Okay, so what was that like?
That was really painful because at night my feet would itch, they would get cold. I was always wearing socks to bed, and it's helped a lot.
So are you sleeping better now?
A lot better.
That's good to hear. Now, what would you say to somebody who might be on the fence about trying acupuncture for the first time?
Give it a try. Dr. Weber's awesome. I did a lot of research, and again, I was really skeptical, but everything has worked out fantastic.
Love that. So when you were dealing with the pain before, what weren't you able to do?
I couldn't lift my hand above my left shoulder. I couldn't lift my arm above my left shoulder. And I do a lot of things, fishing, hunting, and little hobbies around the house, and it was hindering me from doing that. And I was really close to going and having surgery on my shoulder. And then, they said you'd be out 6 months to a year, and I said, I don't want to do that. So I did a little research and come to Dr. Weber, and I'm just very, very pleased with the outcome so far.
I'm glad. Now, could you walk me through what the treatment process is like whenever you come in?
And when I come in, the ladies, you go back into the room and they prep you, they put the little electro pads on and get everything set up. Then Dr. Weber comes in and does the actual needles for the acupuncture. Then they hook it up and you sit there for 25 minutes and relax, and you feel like a new person when you leave.
Love that. But it's also painless too.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt at all.
That's what I've heard from everybody so far.
And I was a big baby with needles. I don't like needles, but it hadn't been bad at all.
Here it's kind of like a family. They make you feel really comfortable.
They do.
What has it been like since the day you walked in, the pain you were feeling on that day versus how you're feeling now?
The first day when I walked in, my shoulder was really giving me a hard time. And I was really considering going under the knife because I'm a young guy. I'm 62 years old, and I just didn't want to go through that the rest of my life. I wanted to have some freedom back in that shoulder. Because when you hurt one limb, it handicaps your whole body. It really does.
Was there anything about the treatment process that surprised you?
I did not realize there'd be so many needles, little acupuncture needles, because there's like 10 or 12 on my shoulder, and then like 8 or 10 on each leg, but you don't even feel it. I mean, it's just so easy.
So now that you're feeling better, you've been able to get back to doing the things that you love to do, right?
That's right.
What's that been like?
It's like a living 20 years ago. Wow. So I feel really good. Looking to continue doing the treatments with Dr. Weber and moving on with life.
Okay, so why would you recommend AIM Acupuncture?
I would highly recommend it due to the fact of the success that I've felt so far and the friendliness of the staff here. They make you feel right at home.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks once again for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm Katie Turner, and I'm wearing pink for a reason today. I'm joined in studio by Michelle Apple. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay, so you are the founder of the ABC Warrior Foundation. What does that stand for?
The Apple Breast Cancer Warrior Foundation.
All right, so tell me your story.
So I'm actually, this week is kind of ironic, I'm a 5-year breast cancer survivor. So I made it to 5 years, which is a huge milestone for many breast cancer patients. So when I got my diagnosis, I always knew I wanted to do more. I didn't want to be defined by breast cancer, but I've seen so many financially having a hard time with the financial bills in addition to advocating and educating. So during my journey, I decided to start a foundation, a 501c, to help other breast cancer patients as they're going through this long journey, because it's emotional, it's financial. And so I decided to start the foundation under those things so that we could help them.
It's got to be surreal going from being the patient to being able to really pay it forward to people.
Absolutely, I wanted to advocate because in the beginning my diagnosis was missed, so I had a very small lump under my armpit, and I think it's good for the viewers to know that I just got a standard mammogram, and unfortunately they missed it, and I should have had an ultrasound.
Wow.
And that's the other reason to advocate for the foundation, right? I want to educate and tell folks. Not that you have a crystal ball that it could stop it, but maybe we could have caught it earlier. We know with breast cancer, early detection and treatments are huge.
Huge.
So with that, after my mom got diagnosed with bile duct cancer, I then took care of myself. She passed away. We were taking care of her, and I got shingles, and it grew actually on my breast. And I thought, well, you know, I should get this checked out. So after she passed, I did, and that's when I found out I was stage 3. It has metastasized into 23 lymph nodes, full mastectomy, 6 months chemo, 3 months radiation, and then just recently I had my ovaries removed, and then continued medication. So many cancer patients don't get to ring the bell. So many of those I want to advocate and help and do the comfort bags that we're going to talk about at the next summit to kind of bring a smile to their face.
Now, for people that want to stay updated with you and help out throughout the year, I mean, you have so many things planned on the calendar. How can they stay in touch with you?
Absolutely. So we have a website. It's www.applebcwarrior.com, or they can certainly email me at michelleapple71@iCloud as well.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by Quadre Stuckey. We're talking about beautiful, beautiful artwork with a rich cultural heritage. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm blessed. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me today.
We're going to do a lot of fun stuff, but first I want to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
I want you to kind of walk me through your creative process when it comes to this.
So when it comes to my creative process with the artwork, I like to visualize what I'm going to do first in my mind, and then I like to, draw it or sketch it on the canvas. And then once I sketch it on the canvas, I like to add that paint to bring it to life.
And you have quite a history.
Yes.
Why did you get into art in the first place?
I would say art is like my God-given talent. It wasn't something I had to try hard with. It was something that would naturally come to me that just kind of flows easy. So I wanted to use that and share my gift with the world.
I would say that when you look at your art, I was taking a look at your portfolio, and a lot of it is so striking.
Yes.
You have such a unique look.
Yes.
How would you describe your art, though?
I mean, I would describe my art as kind of like a mixture between like contemporary pop art and then low country Gullah lifestyle series. That's what I say, because that's our history and rich culture in Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm from. So it's about that Gullah lifestyle, maintaining the culture and the heritage. So I'm just telling the story through my artwork.
Why is that important to you?
I feel like it's important because if you don't tell your own story, somebody else will tell your story and control your narrative. So it's better for you to keep your own history and pass it down to the generations to come, like your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your children, to let them know where they came from and what you did to make it here where you're at today.
And how does it feel whenever people see your art for the first time?
It feels amazing because, with artwork, it speaks to everybody different. You know what I'm saying? People get happy, people get excited, people get, filled with joy. So I mean, me inside, that's just a good heartwarming feeling that I feel every time that people see it, experience it, and then they just love it and fall in love with it.
And what would you say is the toughest part of the process for you?
The toughest part of the process was, I'd probably say, selling it, because, these are like my kids, and then somebody wants to buy it, you gotta let it go and then not look back. But, at the same time, I could just paint another one.
And speaking of, If someone is interested in purchasing your art or taking a look,
Yes.
how can they do that?
Well, they could go online to my website, www.quaddesigns.net, or they could go onto my nonprofit site, www.gullah-Geechee-Family-Foundation.com, purchase the artwork.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Quadre. I
Yes.
appreciate you visiting me today.
Definitely.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina. This story is sponsored by Horry County Solid Waste Authority. This story is sponsored by Horry County Solid Waste Authority. Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.